the big story this evening, viewers, it's a monumental travesty of justice. Convicted for the heinous crime of rape and murder, Dera Sacha Sauda chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim held an online satsang from Uttar Pradesh's Baghpat days after he was released on parole for 40 days. What was even more shocking is that a number of BJP leaders were seen attending this satsang to seek blessings from the rapist Dera chief. From Karnal Mayor to Senior Deputy Mayor to the Deputy Mayor, all of them made a beeline at the satsang. Importantly, this also comes just weeks ahead of Panchayat polls in Haryana and ahead of the crucial Adampur by-polls. But these leaders denied there was any connection between the satsang and the upcoming polls.
चुनाव का कोई ऐसा इसमें कनेक्शन है नहीं पैरोल का, क्योंकि पैरोल एक आदमी का एक राइट है। मान लो जो भी अंदर कोई सजा काट रहे हैं और उसका राइट है पैरोल के लेना। जब वह पैरोल लगाएगा के लिए अर्जी लगाएगा तो उसका वो डिसीजन जेल मंत्री और हमारे जो माननीय न्यायालय हैं उनका वो डिसीजन है कि पैरोल।
लेकिन लोग सवाल यही पूछेंगे कि इलेक्शनों से पहले हर बारी क्यों पैरोल मिलती है? पिछली बार भी इलेक्शनों से पहले मिली थी और इस बार भी चुनावों में से पहले मिली है पैरोल।
देखिए, मैं वही बता रहा हूँ, पैरोल एक आदमी जो अंडर क्राइम में अंदर है उसने अपनी इच्छा से, जब उसकी इच्छा मान लो जो एक सिस्टम है उस टाइम उन्हें पैरोल के लिए लगाई, अर्जी लगाई, तो पैरोल एक्सेप्ट होगी। तो इसमें ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि दिवाली के नाम की वजह से पैरोल लगाई होगी, आदमी अपने परिवार में आके वो कर ले, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि पैरोल उसके सिर्फ इलेक्शन के लिए।
बाबा जी का सत्संग था तो उन लोगों ने हमें बुलाया था, तो हम सब लोग गए थे। ऑनलाइन था, यूपी से और बाबा जी से ही बात की।
बाबा राम रहीम के ऊपर कई गंभीर आरोप हैं, रेप जैसे आरोप हैं, हत्या के आरोप हैं, और अब पैरोल पर बाहर आए हुए हैं और सभी बीजेपी के ही लीडर्स वहाँ पर दर्शन करने क्यों जा रहे हैं? क्या बाबा का कोई चुनावी कनेक्शन भी है पैरोल से जुड़ा हुआ?
नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है। हमें तो जो हमारे को तो जो मेरे जो वार्ड के लोग हैं वहाँ पे काफ़ी लोग रहते हैं जो बाबा जी से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो वो उन लोगों ने मुझे बुलाया था वहाँ ऑफिस में आके कि आपने जरूर आना है।
So you heard from some of the BJP leaders who attended this satsang online. Times Now also confronted the Haryana jail minister Ranjit Singh Chautala. The minister ducked responsibility and said that his role as a jail minister is only confined to the grant of parole, and that what the convict does outside the jail is to be looked into only by the local administration. Haryana Home Minister Anil Vij on top of this said that attending the satsang is one's personal matter.
जब कोई किसी की सज़ा होती है तो लिख के भेजा जाता है कि इसको आप इस समय जेल में रखेंगे तब तक रखेंगे। उसके बीच में पैरोल एक प्रोविज़न है, जब कितने समय जेल कट जाए 3 साल के बाद उसको मिलती है, हर आदमी का राइट है। अथॉरिटी प्रोविजन उन्होंने उन्हें बेल दे दी, पैरोल मिल गई। पैरोल मिलने के बाद हमारा ड्यूटी से उन्हें बाहर अथॉरिटीज़ को दे देना। अब जब वो पैरोल खत्म हो जाएगी वापस लेने का, जेल का इतना ही काम है उनका अंदर नहीं।
आप भी देख रहे हैं ऑनलाइन बाबा जी सत्संग कर रहे हैं और सारे जितने मेयर,
ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हमारा काम नहीं, हमारा केवल जेल की 4 दीवारी तक है ड्यूटी था।
ऑनलाइन
दैट इज प्रेरोगेटिव ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट whether to give parole or not, and jail department, jail mantri must have studied all the things and all the aspects. No political motive. Under the rules, he has been granted parole. Without rules, nobody can grant it. Nothing to do with politics. This is nothing to do with party. This is concerning rules of the government. Under the rules and law of the government, he has been granted parole. And if UP government permit, anybody can go if they permit.
We also have a reaction from former Haryana Chief Minister Brinda Adige when asked about BJP leaders bowing before the rape convict, said it was a matter of one's personal belief, so no outright condemnation, which once again goes on to establish the political sway Ram Rahim holds. Notably, Ram Rahim, remember, has been backed by different parties in different times and had supported the Congress as well in 2007 Punjab Assembly elections. So this is the reaction coming in from the former Chief Minister. Listen in.
तक बाबा राम रहीम के सत्संग में करनाल के कुछ लोग जुड़े थे, मेयर जुड़ी थी और कोई लोग थे, उसको देकर काफी विवाद हो रहा है।
सबकी अपनी अपनी आस्था है।
Let's open this up. A very important debate raises some very important questions. We have Varanjana Kumari, activist, with us. Also with us is Tahira Hassan, another activist, and Vaibhav Agarwal, chairman of Yuva India Foundation. Mr. Agarwal, I want to begin by understanding from you, what is it? why this kind of a reaction, why this kind of a behavior, why this kind of a decision? Is it the number of followers that turn out to be more than sufficient to bring politicians of all hues flocking to Ram Rahim every now and then, seeking his blessings? And perhaps even more importantly, his benevolence prior to an election?
Madam, I understand where you're coming from, but first of all, let me tell you that India is not a jungle country. India is a law country. We cannot have our outcry from a policy perspective. We cannot have an outcry which is very selective in its nature. Thirdly, there are several examples of parole. People to whom the parole suits, they don't talk about it. People to whom the parole doesn't suit, they get spoken about by the opposite camp. I just don't understand, why can't we just simply ask the question saying whether it was in the rules to give parole to an XYZ person, yes or no? And if yes, then what were the conditions? And if no, what were the conditions? Simple as it is. I mean, I'd like to bring your attention to a case back in 2017 in Justice A.K. Sikri's court, which was Ashwak and versus the state of Rajasthan. And, the parole was denied, and a lot of opposition happened at that time, and saying that the court denied the parole, the state denied the parole, and so on and so forth. And a lot of politics happen. I don't see a reason why there should be politics. I think each of us have our right to our belief and have our right to our understanding. But the law is not open to interpretation.
No, but the fact here remains that here's a man who is charged with murder, who's charged with rape cases, and that's exactly why this becomes extremely important, also given the kind of following he enjoys. What do you think, Ranjana Kumari, the kind of following this man enjoys that goes lax altogether? The fact that each time a parole and furlough, for example, in 2022 only has been granted to him, has always been associated with some election or the other. What do you make of it?
Well, you see, this is travesty of justice galore everywhere in the country today. Rapists are at large. They can get parole. They can be even given remission. There is absolutely no reason why this is happening in the country, which really follows rule of law. They are all justifying parole. Of course, parole is a right, but why only before election? And also, why is he allowed, a criminal, a rapist, a man who castrated so many men? Forget about it. If they do something to women like gang rape and repeated rape, then perhaps all these men who are coming to all the programs that I'm addressing at the moment, they don't care. They just go by rule of law. When it comes to molesting women, raping women, and then pardoning those people or giving them parole, it's all rule of law. But when it comes to, this whole issue of he addressing, and then all these, no political party should have compulsion to listen to a rapist, to follow a rapist, to go to a kind of, satsang over. Is this satsang? Is this some kind of a message he's giving to society?
And all of those BJP leaders, Ms. Kumari, all those BJP leaders who were in attendance of this satsang, by the way, have their political interests in the elections that are due in the coming few days. That's exactly why this question comes in.
I think
there is no end to madness. This is madness. Political parties don't need support of rapists. Do they need really?
A quick rebuttal from Mr. Agarwal, and then I'll have to move to Ms. Hassan. Yes, Mr. Agarwal, you're saying something.
So I'll tell you, I think I disconnect with, I respect Ranjana's views, Ranjanaji's views, and I understand that the man has been convicted, etc., etc. But when someone is within the framework of law, I think our focus should be in probably bringing about some changes in the law, and so is the current government at the center is absolutely putting the efforts in, and I think it should be lauded. And if there are certain other aspects of law which Ranjana Kumari ji and her friends would like to bring
what
it
is
to the
concerning,
fore,
Mr. Agarwal, is that there is no uniform legislation for granting parole in India, which means each and every state can tweak the laws as per their own convenience, and that's why it's problematic.
It is not the Correct. It is not the government and the dispensation. We have to understand the law before commenting on it. It is not about the government and the dispensation. This is the constitution that we are talking about.
You're talking about the constitution, all right. So perhaps a greater look at a greater amendment is what you're suggesting. Let me quickly bring in Ms. Hassan into the conversation, because several questions though are being asked of the BJP. It's not just the BJP. There have been senior leaders of all parties from Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and so on and so forth who've in the past visited Dera Chief to seek his support before he was imprisoned as well. We take you back to 2007. You know, he'd backed the Congress party when the party failed to win the elections in Punjab. Although, remember, Ram Rahim claims he's apolitical, but all of this is true. Each and every political party has flocked to Ram Rahim to seek his blessings. Why this appeasement?
You're asking to me?
Yes, Ms. Hassan.
Yes, you know, I think you must be, I remember, whether you remember or not, I don't know, that in Panchkula, when the CBI court has convicted this man of rape, that time, his supporters had vandalized media vans and burned it. You know what he has done? Not only rapist only, he's murderer, rapist, and all this violence was indulging in the violence also, and he got the parole, you know. And the other thing, what is more shocking for me at least, that grand welcome is received. People are welcoming him. The leaders of the parties are going to welcome him. So what is this? The rapist is garlanded, is welcomed by the people, by the netas. I mean, this is too much.
Absolutely. And since you pointed out what the CBI judge noted, I want to just quote this. Jagdeep Singh, judge of the special CBI court, you know, while he pronounced his verdict, said that here's a man, the convict did not even spare his own pious disciples and acted like a wild beast. So this is the person that we're really talking about. And the timing of it all is being questioned at the moment, time and again, with respect to each and every political party in the past. I'm going to have to leave it at that. Thank you, ladies, and also Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal for joining us on this important debate.